Now, we're talking today about being authentic. And that, my friends, is authenticity, right? Yes. Let's give her another hand. You don't sing like that from your head. Amen. You sing like that from your heart. Amen. And we, that's an expression of how we want to live. We want to live from our hearts. If I ask you, point to yourself. Everybody point to yourself. Nobody went here. Nobody went there. This is who I am. This is who you are. We live from our hearts. And that's what we came here to do. I titled this self-inquiry. What am I doing to make all this noise?
You want to do the hand mic?
Maybe I better, because I seem to be doing...
To the right.
Now, is that better?
Oh, yes.
Okay, sorry. No, I can't do my prop with I may have to ask for help. So we're here to express, and how many times did I hear the word love already in this program this morning? Love, I love myself the way I am. I am love, and I'm going to be real. Oh, good, I can put it on. Yeah, but then okay, let's see. Gonna wing it. Oops. All right, sorry about that. Okay. Well, let's just get this out of the way. And you may have seen this before, because I've done it many times. But, when we come into the world, before we entered the birth canal, we were perfect souls. And we still are. And we come through like the clear mirror, don't we? This is our little soul self. This is what we look like. Pure, there's nothing there but the good and the God that we are. But once we pass that birth canal, you know what happens? The first thing, we get a little spank on the bottom, don't we? Boop. First little mark on that mirror. And then we begin to take on life. Now we still, as babies, we trust and we love unconditionally, and we have faith and we believe in those people that are handling us. And most of us are blessed to have those parents who love and take care of us. But no matter who we are, as we begin life's journey, we begin to get, you can't sing, you can't read, you're not very smart. Even if somebody tells you, well, that was stupid, right? That was stupid. So you get another mark. Now you probably can't see this mirror very well down there. But as life goes on, it gets just all covered up, doesn't it? And so we come into this life knowing everything that we ever knew from before we came into manifestation as human form. And then we spend the rest of our lives trying to get back to it, don't we? That's why you're here. That's why you study this stuff. That's why you read. That's why you pray and you meditate. Because you want to get back to a clean slate, don't you? Nod your head, yes. I know you do. That's what we're after in this life. And it takes constant endeavor and awareness to do that. So we come in and we begin to ask, why am I here? What's my purpose? I believe that each one of us came probably on an assignment of some sort. Maybe we decided, I want to go down and I want to go to that place over there where I see these little forms and try that out. And maybe I'll just go and be the presence of love. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show up as a presence of love. And so you come as that presence of love, and you get here and you see all sorts of things that tell you the exact opposite. You see the experience of other people doing what you don't want to do. And when you remember who you are and why you're here, you begin to try to show up as that way. And sometimes you just get hit in the face with those things. Try as you will. Try as you will. So we came here. I started to do about every source of material that you have, whether it's written by somebody here on earth or whether it's channeled, and there's a lot of channeled material, it all says the same thing. You are love. You're here. There's one of us here. There's only one of us here. We are the little drops of the ocean. The ocean couldn't be the ocean without the drops in it, right? And God can't be God without us little drops of God in it. We have all that God stuff within us, but it gets forgotten and squelched and covered up. And we cover it up through many ways of comparing ourselves, and as Michael said in his book, we don't think we're good enough. We don't love ourselves the way we are, do we? Sometimes I do. I try to, most of the time, love myself the way I am. But I tell you, one look in the mirror and I'm going, no, maybe no. And that's not who I am. You know, if I really look in the mirror and look into those eyes, that's who I am. I'm not the blip on the face, and I'm not the mistake I made yesterday. I'm not that. Those are just things that happen along the way. And if I can love myself the way I am, then I'm achieving my purpose here on earth. And you are too. So it takes, like I said, constant study. I think you all know the musician and minister Michael God. And he wrote a beautiful song saying, "When I forget, will you remember for me? And when you forget, I will remember for you." Beautiful song. And that's what we're doing for each other, is it not? We come together like this to remind each other of who we are and to hear it again and again and again. You cannot hear it enough. In my book study, we studied Neville Goddard for a long time, and we've studied Ernest Holmes a lot. Now we're doing a little channeling material. But always we get the same message, and it's the same thing. You've come here to be an expression of love. And when you begin to compare yourself or want to be something else, don't we covet a little bit? Thou shalt not covet. The things I want, maybe it would be better if I had that. And well, what does the television tell us? Yeah, you know, if you get this makeup, ladies, you're going to look like this, and you will be fabulous. Or wear these shoes, or this dress, or whatever. And you know that's not the truth. Buy it anyway, but you know it's not the truth. So I love this story, and this might be the story that I said before. He said, here, I told the story, remember. This is when you think you want to be something else, and it's the story of the stone cutter. If you've heard it before, too bad, I'm going to do it anyway. So there was a stone cutter who was dissatisfied with himself and his low position in life. And he passed a wealthy merchant's house one day, and he saw how wonderful and what a beautiful life that man had, how rich he was, and he said, I don't want to be a stone cutter, I want to be a merchant. And to his great surprise, he became the merchant. And he was feeling so good, this is what I really want. And then he noticed this high official being carried on one of those chairs. He said, oh, I wish I could be that high official. He seems to have so much power. And he became the high official. And so he began being carried around. And all of a sudden he was very, very warm, hot, and he looked up at the sun and said, oh, that sun is so powerful. I wish I could be the sun. Then he became the sun. And he was shining fiercely down on everybody in such power and such power. And he said, how powerful I am. And all of a sudden, he wasn't very light anymore, and a storm cloud passed underneath him. How powerful the storm cloud is, he said. I wish I could be that cloud. Well, he became the cloud. Now, he said, I am the most powerful thing. I am a storm cloud, and no light can go past me. And all of a sudden, he felt himself being pushed. What is that? It was the wind. The wind is so powerful. I wish I could be the wind. Of course, he became the wind. And he was blowing off tiles and doing damage, and just so powerful. And all of a sudden, he saw this huge stone and he couldn't move it. How powerful is the stone, he said. I want to be the stone. Well, of course, he became the stone. And he's feeling his power and being so grand and mighty, and he felt can't do that. It's not possible. We're not here to fix anyone, unless it's ourselves. We're not here to solve the world's problems, but we do that by becoming the expression of love that we are. Now, the master teacher Jesus said, if you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. If you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you. Now, years ago, having read that, I thought, what's he talking about? But what are you bringing forth? Your true self, right? You're bringing forth your true self, and you're bringing forth the power that you have and the wisdom that you have to make right choices for your life. And when you don't bring that forth, you make some pretty crappy choices, don't you? Life gets kind of icky and murky and muddy, and can destroy you when you don't make the right choices. We probably all have a few stories of not bringing forth what was in us. So now another thing happens when somebody tells you you are this or that or the other thing. And it's either degrading or it makes the ego go, like Michael told me this morning. He remembered a story. He said years ago, and he always remembered that, and how fabulous I am, and I'm just getting all pumped up. Wow, he remembers me. I'm really good. And I went, wait a minute, we're talking about authenticity this morning. Come on back. So here I am again. But here's another story that I told. This is when you take the beliefs and the opinions of others about you, you become that. You're like the little lion whose mother gave birth to him while she was pursuing the sheep, but she was so bedraggled that she died and left this little baby cub. Well, one of the sheep decided to take it as its child and raised the little lion as a sheep. So he grew up with the sheep. He kind of learned to make that sound they make, and he even ate grass. But the other sheep would make fun of him because he sounded so funny, and he looked funny. He didn't know what he looked like. He thought he was a sheep. Until one day, a lion came stalking the sheep. And as they were running, the lion noticed this little lion running with him. So he kind of herded him out, and the little lion said, please don't hurt me. I'm a sheep. I'm a little sheep. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. And the lion said, you're not a sheep. Come here. Took him over to the water, looked in at his reflection, and the lion went, I'm not a sheep, and let out a big roar and scared all the sheep away and owned who he was. So when we don't believe what other little labels people put on us, sometimes people say, well, who are you? Well, and Kay introduced me. I'm a retired minister from the pulpit. I've done this, da-da-da-da-da, I'm that, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, I'm. But the most important thing I have to say is I am an expression of God.
Amen.
I am a child of God. Nothing else matters. All those things are hats I put on, but it's not who I am. And I have to remember that, and I can't let other people tell me who I am or take their opinions, it keeps me from being who I am. And I don't want that. I want to bring forth what is within me. Now, I read from Reverend Michael saying, some people believe they're not enough. We're all enough. If we were born with the same stuff, we were all given intelligence, wisdom, power, clarity, light, love. We were all given that God stuff. So how can that not be enough? And when I criticize myself, I'm criticizing you. Because we are all the same. And that's the message that so many people are trying to get out into the world. Your vision, until there's peace on earth. Oh, that came from I love myself the way I am. I love the world the way it is. Until there's peace on earth. And there will not be peace on earth until each one of us is experiencing that same peace. We can pray for peace on earth all we want to. But unless we're being peaceful ourselves, we do no good. We must do, everything has to come from within. We can't fix anything out there. I'm going to go back to my prop. Here's my mirror. Okay, my hair's messed up. we achieve and accomplish what the Master said for us to do. Love the Lord God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. My gosh, people, if you don't love yourself, how are you going to love anybody else? And it seems backwards to me. I always thought, well, I got to love everybody else, and then I'll love myself. God didn't create it that way. Love me first. Me with a capital M, and me with a little m. Self with a capital S, self with a little s. It's one thing. It's one thing, but I'm just an expression of the bigger one. We all know that. We all know that. You know, when we're trying to be something we're not, it's very tiring. Because then you guys say, what did I say I was? You know, it's like lying. Once you tell a lie, you got to remember what you said so you can carry it on. You get caught in it. And when you're not being authentic, you get caught in that. Anne Morrow Lindbergh, she said, the most exhausting thing in my life is being insincere. Wears you out when you're not being yourself. So if you find yourself that you're worried and you're anxious and you're depressed, you're probably not living your best self. You know, Abraham Hicks talks about living in the vortex. And that means being authentic, being who you are. When you're living in the vortex and living from your true self, life is beautiful. And you're happy and you're fulfilled. Your relationships are harmonious. You're financially balanced. You're emotionally and mentally balanced. You're happy. And that's coming from within you. Not anything anybody said or did made you that way. It all comes from within you. And when you're not being your true self, all of that kind of gets off balance. I like to think of it, when I'm being authentic, I'm on a teeter-totter and I'm right in the middle. I am totally balanced. And I can step a little bit to either side and I'm still balanced. But sometimes I step off a little too far. And I'm not being authentic. And something goes awry. Oh dear, what did I do? You know, the thing about metaphysics and New Thought that we like and we don't like is that you're responsible for everything that's happening in your life. I love it and I hate it. The good stuff I love, the bad stuff not so much. Somewhere along the line, I made a choice to get me where I am. And if I don't like it where I am, I get to make another choice. What thought can do, thought can undo, Ernest Holmes says. So we can make the change. Now some things, you know, okay, well I can't bring that person back to life, you know, who's died. I didn't cause them to die, but I can change how I feel about losing someone. Not really losing them because they're not lost, you know. The body's not going to work anymore. But we know that life is eternal and it goes on and on and on. And it's the same life that I'm living right now. I'm just living it in this temple right now. And so it's my responsibility not only to be authentic and be who I came here to be, but I got to take care of my holy temple that I live in too. That's part of our responsibility. Now I got off track. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. But when you're living in the vortex, everything is cool. Everything is happy. And when we're being authentic, you know, everything is energy. We give out vibrations, don't we? And you know, when you walk in this place, you feel good. You just feel good when you walk in here. I came in this morning, and Kay and the guys were practicing here, the only one in the room. I didn't need more people in here. I didn't need anything other than to walk in and feel the energy that's in this place. Because you guys have put it here. Week after week after week, it's here. It's not going to go away. It's wonderful energy. And that's why you come to this place, is it not? I know that many people are watching this streaming, or something. I hope people are watching the streaming. And you're getting good energy from it. But oh man, the energy you get when you're in a place is so wonderful. And also, there's the other thing. There's that negative energy we run into, do we not? And when we run up against negative energy, it reduces our vibrational energy. Unless we've been really doing our work, and we are our authentic self, then negative energy cannot even enter our space. But because we have to continually work to be authentic, we do have negative energy coming into our space. And so we don't want to diminish who we are with negative energy, so we work to avoid that. My negative energy right now is Fox News that my husband listens to. So I put on my earphones and listen to book tapes or music or something. But I don't want to, in fact, any news really is kind of negative to me, you know? So I'm kind of like the elephant that had just taken his bath and he was clean and fresh, and he's walking down the road and here comes a pig who just had his muddy bath. And the elephant walks around him. And the pigs say, "That elephant's afraid of you, ha ha ha." And the elephant said, "Were you really afraid of that pig?" The elephant said, "No, I just had my bath and I wanted to avoid getting muddy." So I consider negative energy my muddy pig. And I have muddy pigs that I have to avoid, and you do too. When we avoid those muddy pigs, then we can stay in our vortex, and we can keep vibrating our wonderful energy, because it's this good, loving energy that is transforming our planet, and God knows it needs transforming. We want to restore it to its goodness. I absolutely believe that good overcomes anything unlike it. I believe that at the soul of my being. And when you watch the news or read the newspaper, it's kind of hard to believe that, but it's still possible. Because I know there's more of us here on the planet who are loving and kind and compassionate than otherwise. And those who've forgotten completely who they are, I love them, I see them as whole and perfect, and know that within them, that spirit is calling them too to come forth, to recognize and love who they are. And even see, I'm being unauthentic, and when I use the terms they or we, that's separation, is it not? We are here as loving beings. We came to respect and love each other. Was that not the basic message of Jesus? And all the mystics. You can't go to any sacred text, any philosopher that will not tell you the same thing. So it must be true. And I believe it. And you do too. I know you do. I'm going to close with a reading from The Pathway of Roses by Christian Larson. Old book. This is our purpose: to live the purest, the largest, the fairest, the most useful, the most beautiful, and the most spiritual life possible, just for today. To be our very best here and now, with no desire to outshine some other being, but simply to be all that we are in divine being now. To fill the present moment with all the spiritual sunshine that we can possibly radiate through the crystal walls of love, peace, faith, and joy, and to live so near to the Supreme that we may touch the hem of His garment whenever we so desire. This is the life, and he who lives with such a purpose forever in view shall never know an undesired moment. Let's pray. For I do know that there is one life, and that life is God's life, and that life is perfect, and that life is my life now. That life is a life of every living being. There's only one of us here. And we are here expressing the lovely, light, beautiful God beings that we are. I'm knowing that more and more individuals, this day, this moment, are realizing the divine beings that each of us is. That we are united in spirit, in soul, and in love. So I'm knowing where there seems to be sickness and illness, that there is only wholeness and wellness back of all appearances. Where there's the appearance of disharmony, there is joy and love and respect and understanding. And where there's the appearance of financial disability, there's freedom. that this place that we live called Mother Earth is worthy of being whole and happy and united and at peace. As I claim that peace myself, and I become the peace, I become what I wish to see. And I'm knowing that there are millions of souls who are remembering the same thing and doing this now. And so we do bring peace on earth. How good it is to know this. How grateful I am to know this and to affirm it. And so I can affirm it and release it into this mind that says, yes, yes, yes. 'Tis so, 'tis done. And so